All right. Next question. Donald wants to know.
The
Don? You fired. Donald wants to know. I just did an FHA Streamline refi for my condo. 2 months after funding, the bank is demanding I double my H06 coverage. I'm lost on that. Is this legal or normal?
That's your insurance.
What the heck is H06?
Basically.
Maybe that's the best
zombie
question.
disease.
It's insurance, and that really doesn't have to do. Unfortunately, it doesn't have to do with the lender.
We've stumped. Ooh, Donald, you have stumped the dean and the mortgage mistress.
It's your insurance.
Well, this is actually.
You have to buy insurance to buy a condo.
When you're buying a condo,
FHA?
so a lot of people think, okay, so
the walls in.
Yeah.
There's two types of insurances when you're buying a condo. You
Right.
have the actual insurance that's for the structures, and that's probably going to be included in your HOA. But that's
that policy is held by the complex, not you personally.
Not you. It's part of your HOA more than likely payments.
Okay.
The second part that you have to be responsible for are what we call the walls in. So you're
Isn't
essentially
that
buying the space.
home insurance?
Homeowners insurance.
You go to Farmers,
Right, you can go to Farmers.
Well, it's different because on a single-family residence, you own the land and everything above and below.
So
it
what
to
does
the core.
H06 mean? Is that the type of insurance you get from Farmers on a
it's
condo?
Right? Because in a condominium, you really actually own the walls in, and then you have shared ownership in walls out.
All right, I'm starting to understand it now.
So
this
the entire complex has its own insurance policy, which the lender's already verified.
Right.
So the
FHA
lender asked him to get this type of insurance during the purchase process. You got to have insurance, or I'm not going to lend you the money.
No, you said 2 months after, so
Yeah, so what I'm saying-
it's entirely possible. It's entirely possible that they either missed something or else they try to verify the policy and the policy is not enforced.
It
but
seems
this
to
is
me
like
like
a
they want
post-close.
a bigger policy. Can they do that? Can they say, look, you have to go out and get policy X or you don't get the loan, and then 2 months later go, oops, sorry, it should be more than that.
They could, because it could be a QC thing. Listen, this actually happens. This actually does happen. And
what happened to Donald?
Well, I mean, this sort of thing where you close your loan and then the loan gets sold on the secondary market, and then the investor goes to buy it, and they do QC on it, which they do a quality control. They go through the file with a fine-tooth comb, and something was missed. You know, it was a mistake. Maybe somebody didn't look at the coverage amount, and the coverage wasn't adequate to be able to cover the loan amount. So there was a deficiency in the homeowner's insurance coverage. I mean, we've seen crazy things. I mean, it's just sometimes a T's not crossed or an I's not dotted, and they'll have to go back and say, hey, could you provide this extra document? Can you do this?
So it's possible.
Oh, yeah, it's possible. It's not crazy.
But why would they ask him to double
Donald.
up on
It can also be a guideline change. I've actually had something where
retroactively, I've never.
I think it was Citi. We had this a lot at the branch where Citi was changing a lot of their guidelines. They were requesting additional documentation. This didn't have to do with home insurance, but they were requesting additional documentation where before, when they purchased, they weren't requesting this.
And this is after you've already bought the house.
This was after it had been funded, and they came back now requesting this. So on every file that we had sold to Citi, where before it was okay, now it was suddenly they were requesting this. So we had
so Donald, I think the quick answer here is they can do that.